Oh, look, we don't have anything on. Well, welcome to Pieces That Pat Paints. It wouldn't be an episode of this without some sort of small technical difficulties on my part. I'm sure one of these days I'm going to get everything working all the time and it's all going to be fine. But, you know, if not, it's alright. Anyway, I hope you all are having a lovely day. Hey, at least I didn't have the feedback going and blow out speakers because, good lord, that's awful. I hate when that happens. Alright, so we have all of this insanity. And we're going to have to start figuring out exactly what is going where today. And then we'll have to get it glued together after we clean it up. So we have a lot to kind of figure out today. Obviously, some of this stuff is pretty easy to figure out. Some of it's not. And sometimes with prints, and this is kind of, for those of you that are 3D printers and things like that, here's some fun things to learn. So, you know, this is a minor error. What happened here is it just, somewhere in the situation, something got in between one of the layers, or the layer didn't set right, or whatever. There's a few different reasons why it might crack. It might even have cracked after it was printed. But it looks like they had a minor problem. You can kind of see as it comes across this back that there's some sort of issue. Now you're not going to see any of that because she has a cloak. So it doesn't actually matter, which is great. I mean, we'll see a little bit on this side here, but you're not going to see much. You know, we have a brocade back here or something. We'll get that painted up for a little bit of that cult of the hidden paints. So, but we want to go through here and like we'll have to even this up, and we'll have to get these pieces to match up more precisely. And it takes a little time and a lot of effort. And a file, which luckily we have lots of those. Of all different shapes. That's not actually the shape I want. That's closer to the shape one. So it gets, you got to be real careful with this because we don't want to destroy any of the details. Like there's a little ring that's going around her ankle right here. But there's also a little bit of a pock from the oh, these are where the supports were embedded in her legs. Now, again, we probably won't see a whole lot of that, but we don't actually know that until we start putting her together. So, I guess we got to start figuring that out. So, obviously, that's going to go together. That's going to go together. And then her legs. I can't imagine that her legs just come straight through like that. There's got to be, yeah. So we've got that and that one. All right. Again, well, like I said, we got to kind of get it together. We're going to ignore that top half for now. And let's even pull this off so we don't drop it. And let's figure out these legs. and what exactly we need to do, because we don't, if I don't have to fill in a bunch of stuff, I would prefer not to. That's got to be part of an arm. That's part of an arm. Arm. Here's a hand. Okay, that's all okay right there. And we'll have to figure out where these little arrows go, because there's a couple of these. I got some sort of strange squeak going on. I guess they're supposed to be segmented like this. She's partly some break. Hey, I took a break. I was on a break for like 3 episodes, man. I had to, I already got, I got him all the way done. Here he goes. I got this whole guy done. And we're getting ready to send him back off to my friend. It's me as a bartender. It's so funny. Alright, so where'd that old leg go? Am I tripping? There's one foot. There it is. Alright. So anyway, like I was saying, she's kind of clockworky. Like parts of her are mechanical, which is really cool. To sleep, maybe. Oh no. I don't sleep. Right? So it's called Pat the Bartender, which was so funny about it. So like it's Pat the Bartender, and that's what he looks like from the box. But I changed his hair and stuff to look more like me, is what I ended up doing. And it was a whole lot of fun. It was a great little breakout piece of just enjoyment. My friend is running a D&D game, I think for his kids, back in Florida, and I think he's in Florida, and so he wanted this, and I'm gonna send it back to him because he had gotten it, because he had seen it said Pat on it and thought it was really funny. Okay, so I really want to try this experiment on working on getting these filled in. So we might do that on these legs, because I've got this little thing I want to try, because I was watching a video about how to fill in some of this, because you can see it here again on this piece. Maybe not. Well, yeah, you can see it. You should be able to see it in the camera, where it looks like it's got these little dimples or freckles on it, and those. So when you print it, you can't avoid this. So it's something that has to happen. There's nothing you can do about it. When you print it, it prints up. There's a little tank like this, and the printer goes up and down off this tank, and it makes this stuff in layers and layers and layers and layers. And in order to get it to set up right, you need these supports. And those supports, when you pop them off, can make these little holes. And there's, like I said, there's not much you can do about it. We got a couple missing here, 2, maybe 3 of them. We'll have to milliput that. She's got, I love her helmet. It's so awesome. We got just a little bit. So these right here are parts of probably the support, since they're not really duplicated on the other side, and her helmet is pretty symmetrical. So these are probably leftover support parts, so we can go ahead and kind of pull that out. And that's just going to make it a cleaner, the helmet will look cleaner overall, which is exactly what we want to do. Just be careful, don't force them. Just kind of gently cut through them, and they'll usually pop right out and probably leave one of those little freckles. So, and sometimes you can sand them out depending on how they pop off and where they are. There's another trick I wanted to try where we're going to use putty on it. That's got one that's a burr. The ones that are the burrs are a little easier to take care of. You can just kind of sand them away. And there's another one right here on the inside. Right there. A lot of times the best way to do this is if you can kind of get under it and let your knife kind of slide in there. They'll pop right out. It'll make you a little bit nervous sometimes, especially when you have like a whole sculpture that you're trying to pull out of the support system. It gets hairy. I'm gonna put this guy over here. I think that's, I don't feel any more burrs or anything. She's set pretty clean. We're probably gonna have to do just a little bit of filler, especially like right here. You can see these two holes. We'll want to fill that in with some putty to get that going. And then her hair is going to have to meet in somewhere. And here's her hair. Let's go with that. I was looking at this yesterday, and these are part of the supports. And it looks like these parts failed, but I don't think it actually affected the print, which is good. And these have been cured. Once the supports are cured and they've been sitting for a while, it gets a little bit dangerous. But you can see another one right there. That is a minor, that's just a minor flaw. I think, there you go. You can see this crack here. So this is just a minor flaw. Not a big deal. Shouldn't really affect much anything. It's on the inside of stuff. It might throw off a little bit of the way the model sets up, but it might not. We're not going to know that till we kind of get this freed up and start trying to put it together. This thing is all matted up around our post. So there is a post. I was wondering about that yesterday. The post is still in there, which is great. Not having to create a post for this is what we want. If for those of you who watched the Malekith video, creating posts and armatures and stuff is not is not always the easiest thing to do. I enjoy it, but not everybody's going to enjoy something like that. It's just not, you know, not everybody's gig. And there's nothing wrong with that. There we go. Let's get all that cleaned out of there. Okay. See, of course, here in the hair where we don't need it, it's going to leave it as posts instead of divots. We're going to leave nubs. It never goes the way you want it. It always goes the other way. Oh, that's so awesome. Okay, so yeah, we just have a little bit, it looks like a little bit of hair missing right in that gap right there. That's not a big deal. We got to put some more put in here anyway. So that is great news. That's good news. Yeah, so what this the minor little fail didn't make that much of a difference. It looks like here may be a problem, but this shouldn't be a big deal. Since you see it kind of goes up underneath her, we just have to finish out this part of the hair and the little bit on the inside there. And then you'd never know anything went wrong. So that's going to be interesting. So let's get the rest of this cleaned up and then keep working, keep looking at what we got to do. We really need to get all our assessments done today, so we can figure out our materials and what we need. So I'm going to try and do all our cleaning and prepping. Well, I've got a chance today, and then tomorrow we'll start figuring out what the next steps are. Looks like we got a few little tips maybe got broken here. Yeah, just a few of them. I don't think overall, there's a support piece. I don't think overall it's going to make that much of a difference. We might add a few tips in. Very, very protective of these little wisps. They can get broken so easily. That's why I put this thing in a closet, and where the cats couldn't get to it while it was in storage. This is like, oh my gosh. If these cats break this model, I will lose my mind. I'll be so angry. They usually don't, but I'm always paranoid that something's going to happen to one. And it looks like this should have come to a tip. We should probably be able to fix that. Most of this is underneath her. We still got some port nubs. Let's go ahead and get those out, just so they don't interfere with anything, especially my paintbrush. Okay. So we got a pretty good idea of what that's going to entail. Gosh, she's going to be so cool. All right, Malakath was really neat. This one may be better. I think every time I get one of these models, I'm like, oh man, how the next one? What's the next one going to be like? Yeah, that's definitely the way it goes. It's like that. Okay, well, got a little bit of work to do on that. Okay, back in you go. On these little arrows, I still don't know exactly where these things go. I'm betting you they go in this thing in the base somewhere. Her feet. So we got 3. What's the third? Oh, wait a minute. What's that peg for? Or that socket? What is that socket for? Is it one of the feet? Or is it... Because there's 3. These are the swords. That one goes there. That one goes in here. Oh, this way. Right. Maybe not. Maybe it goes this way. Get that down where people can see the dang thing. There we go. Yeah, I've got them wrong. That seems to fit right in there pretty well. Yeah, well, that's where it goes. It's just a little loose. So those are going to go in there like so. Are those supposed to be on there? I guess so. Yeah, it looks like it's jaggedy, crystallized fabric or something. I don't know. Weird. All right, so All right, looks pretty good there. A little bit there. A little bit there. All right. Oh. Okay. And all this is some little specks on the insides on both of these. What's that? Oh, just some sort of paper or something. All right, that is her legs. All right. What is... What is this supposed to attach to? And this looks like it's broken off of something. Probably off of this somewhere. Yep. Okay. Alright, and that's got a post as well. Only one post for her neck here. Is this supposed to go on there? Maybe that's what it is. Oh, okay. So which one does it go on? This one? Nope. This one maybe? Yeah, that's probably the one right there. Yeah, that looks right. And where's that other part? Because this is going to go on there like that. Okay. That's fun. Oh, I like that. That's fun. So that'll be cool. So we got a little bit of a whole bunch of hidden paint under here. But that's all right. The question is where do those arrows go? The danger of not having instructions. Okay. A lot of this is going to be better if we put it together and as we're painting it. So like paint part of it and then put a piece together and paint part of a piece together. Because like the way she's attached here, like we're going to have to paint up in here and up in here before we slide this together. Goodness sakes. Okay. This is going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Okay, I just got to figure out this. What does this go to? This is her other part of her arm, right? Something like that. Maybe. Maybe not. This goes on this arm. There we go. That goes on this arm. With this hand. Right? Yep. Okay. So all that's going to go together. And then this piece. Come back here. Squirrely. That's pretty cool. That's really neat. Cool. Okay. Alrighty. Now the question still remains. What does this go to? She's not holding it or something, is she? Let's look it up. Maybe there'll be some clues in the picture. Okay, let's see. So we got a nice red cloak. Still lots of bronze. Bronze, bronze, bronze. It looks like a yellowish cloak. Nice. That's a nice picture right there. Ooh, I like that. I like that a lot. That looks nice. Hey, yo, what's up, Mix Beardsley? I'm trying to figure out what this is for. I think I figured out everything else, except for the arrows. I haven't figured the arrows out. But, man. Maybe we'll look up the if we can find a 3D print. That's supposed to be. Oh, I think that's it. Oh, cool. If that's the one, that's neat. And yeah, it looks like the arrows go into the base. The arrows go into the base right down here. So I don't see it. I don't see the hole these bases supposed to go in. Okay, so she's standing there. So we're looking like this. I'm guessing they just kind of go in. Maybe I'll have to drill holes for them. Because she definitely stands. She's standing in here like... something like that. Something like that. Wow, what a piece. This is going to be fantastic. Okay. Yeah, I was wondering if it was supposed to be part of her skirt, but I can't. Let's take a look again. Let's take a look again. Because it felt like maybe it should come off of her skirt or like off of her bodice. But I can't find a place where it seems like that connects in. That's why I was looking at these prints. It must just, because that's it right there in front of her. It's this part right here. So somehow it must just sit up on the inside of this thing. It must be these tiny little holes. There we go. Oh my goodness, that's a tight fit. Okay. Wow. We've got a few pieces missing here. Oh wow, that's crazy. So then that piece sits on there. She's gonna be magnificent. This piece is gonna be so cool. Okay. All right, let's mix up a little bit of mill put. I guess we'll start fixing some of these pieces because that's what we're gonna do next. I'll fix up some stuff. Like I said, I'm gonna try that experiment on these potholes and see if I can't. See if I can't get it to work. It sounds like it would work. Seems like it would work. So what we're going to do is we're going to mix our mill put like normal. And you want to use mill put for this because mill put's like, it's water soluble. Green stuff is not very water soluble. And again with the mill puts and the mixings of the mill puts, equal amounts, mix them up. Okay, so 33 minutes in, doing pretty good. I'm going to try and get these pieces on. We got to get this part done first. Okay. All right, all you guys get up out of the way. All right, we're about like 30 minutes in. Let's go ahead and start some music. That's a good idea, right? Well, I was doing a lot of talking, so I felt like we did okay there. Yo, hello, saying 711. Welcome to the party. We are working on this giant Malenia. She's huge, and there's parts of her everywhere. Like literally, like parts of her everywhere. I got grippers here. I got bodice pieces here. I got her, her chest and her wicked ass sword. I think it's so cool. So this can be a great piece. Really big. What we're doing today is just trying to start the prep work for this. There's a lot of little spots that are damaged. Like there's a damaged piece right here. So we are going to try our best to fix that. We got a little bit of a product called Millput. I'm just going to add it right in there. I'm trying to get the same shape and width and all that here. People can see what I'm doing. There we go. It takes like tiny bits of this stuff. It's not really that much of it, but you've gotta you gotta mix up enough to start with. Be careful doing it, like touching your finger with this thing. It's mighty sharp, and it can cut you. Just be mindful of which side the blade is on, and you'll be all right. Okay. Now we'll take a look at these links. All right, it's going down, going under, down, under. So this next one, well, Millput, sometimes it's better to have it wet. It's like I was saying earlier, it is water soluble. Looks like we're missing about 2 links here. Maybe 3. The key here is to just stay patient. Don't overcommit or undercommit. You just kind of gotta take your time and breathe. It's such a small detail that most people aren't even going to notice that there was anything ever wrong with it in the first place. Are we still doing phrasing? It's better way. Oh my god, we still doing phrasing. I love Archer so much. Oh my gosh. Danger zone. Okay, I gotta tell you. Take your time, breathe, just work through it. Don't get in a rush. Gotta focus. Serious business here. That was amazing. This is what I love about live stuff. You get those unscripted moments of amazingness. Okay. Okay, 1, 2. Buckle my shoe. Golly, I got off track now. Now I've forgotten what I was doing. That was so funny. Phrasing, I forgot all about that. God, that show is so funny. Okay. Come on, Pat. Pay attention. I still have Necrons I'm hoping to get to sometime soon. Just been busy. Hey, man, I totally get it. There's so much craziness going on in the world. And life does not stop for us. It doesn't care. Yeah, you just let me know whenever you're ready, and we'll get you rocking and rolling, man. No problem. These Elden Ring figures have been keeping me really busy. My patron that is paying for these has been he's very excited about them. So it's nice to have them going really good. I'm going to need a different tool. What do I do with it? We should be able to do it. Well, maybe we can do this wooden skewer. So I'm always going to keep wooden skewers around. Especially for these. So the milliput doesn't like to stick to a skewer as much as it likes to stick to a knife. Oh my gosh, Cat, are you serious? That cat's a psycho. He just jumped up on something back there. I don't know what it is. It's a little concerning, but it'll be alright. Oop. Alright, so that should have us set up enough to fake it. It doesn't look exactly the same, but when it's all painted, shouldn't be that big a deal. And that's one of the things you gotta find a place where it's gonna look legit, but you're not spending your entire day trying to sculpt two little loops. Now, I don't think these are supposed to have all of that in there. I think that's supposed to come out. So we're just going to very carefully, very slowly take those out. Faking it is close to, yeah. A lot of times with sculpting, especially in small form, there's only so far you can get. That's one of the powers of 3D printing, is that it does allow us to get a way different kind of sculpt done that you just wouldn't have been able to do with a traditional press. You know, if you were gonna mold it in a press mold, it wouldn't come out the same. So there's some really neat, just some neat things you can do with 3D printing that has kind of changed the way a lot of things get done, and just 3D design in general. Because you know, now they're getting better at taking a 3D design and putting it into a mold. You know, but it's still the same. And, you know, there's been a revolution in plastics over the last couple of decades, and oof, God, that's so scary. One of the disadvantages to resin, besides like the pock marks and stuff like that, is that it is very brittle, and you can tear things up very easily unintentionally. So you definitely have to be very precise and you really got to pay attention to what you're doing. But these definitely weren't in every single one of them. So we've got to take them out because I don't think they're supposed to be in there. And they're not in the other ones either because she's got those loops on this too. This is just one of those things that comes with paying the big bucks. Come out of there. There we go. Goodness sakes. Those little things are such a booger to get out. I used to have a boss, Experimentally says, I used to have a boss that'd go around wiping down surfaces saying, cleanliness is next to godliness. I was like, I'm pretty sure they meant your soul, not your kitchen, Linda. That's a good one. Oh my gosh, right. I mean, I definitely want my kitchen clean, but, you know, there's other, like, you gotta know your audience, I think, sometimes. When you're trying to get people to clean things. Just as somebody who's been a chef for, well, retired. Retired, sir, retired. I was a chef for a very long time. And I taught sanitation a lot. When I taught culinary school, I taught sanitation. And it is very good to have. But I definitely wouldn't be like... I wouldn't be doing that to my employees, you know? There's just certain things you can... Goofing around with your friends or your family is one thing, but saying that stuff to your employees, you just never know. You just never know. You know, maybe that person take offense to that sort of thing. Anyway. Oh, I think we almost got them all. And here's another way I know that that's definitely supports, because there's some supports still stuck on the inside of this thing. Definitely got to get that out there. Come here. Yeah. Of course, I saved this one that's scaring me the most for last. This guy right here is a booger. It's really in there. Sam says, you were more upfront about sanitation than a lot of the other people that were there. Not bashing anything, just saying you're big on that front. Yeah, I will lose my mind. Mixed Beardly said, yeah, I mean, I didn't appreciate it, but no, you know where, you gotta know where you live. Yeah, you definitely, you know, it's, we live in Oklahoma, the three of us gentlemen that are talking here. And so there is a, you know, these folks are, she didn't mean anything by it, but like I said, you just kind of got to watch what you say and who. You never know who you're gonna upset. And as a boss, you know, like I said, it probably wasn't her intention to be upset. Oof, there we go. I knew that was gonna happen. Probably gonna have to reassemble this one. Dang it. Alright, I'm gonna leave the rest of these alone. Alright. Well, dag blast it. So we're gonna water down that area, okay? That way it'll stick to it. Clean up any of that leftover stuff that we've been in here trying to do in the first dang place. Alright. Now we got a tiny little piece of milliput here. Probably need... Yep. Okay, so we only need about... Come back here. Not much of it. Okay, come here. Ah! Where'd it go? Alright. So we gotta push that in there very carefully. Line up the other end. Get it sit down on there. Sometimes you really gotta push that to set it good. We're basically going to rebuild this pedal, and then we'll pull the rest of what we don't need out if we can't make a... If by the time we make the hole it isn't perfectly fine. But you got to get it. You got to get it to where it's going to attach to what you're trying to get it to stay on. And that sometimes becomes the biggest part of this problem. A little bit of water does not hurt this product, so that might be your way of fixing it. If it's not wanting to stay, which it is not, get on there. Another option is just to make them off of the model, let them dry, and then attach them, which can really get tedious as well. And sometimes that doesn't look right either, so come on, get on there. Like I said, it doesn't like to stick to wood as much as it likes to stick to other stuff. Especially like your fingers. Loves to stick to fingers. Okay, here we go. we're gonna have to start it, and we're probably gonna have to add some more to that. Miss Beardley says, "Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you, my lady and I got wooden mushrooms at Hobby Lobby. She wants to work them and paint them to resemble mushrooms from The Legend of Zelda." Hey, that's fun. That's so that's our next ADD project. That's funny. That's a fun idea, though. Painting some mushrooms. Get on there, get on there. Oh, finally got the shape right. Didn't want to stay on. Maybe we are going to have to let it just mold up on the tip of this. Dry it and then set it on there. Try one more time. We only got enough time for one more time anyway. But if we can get this one figured out, then it'll make it easier to do those others. Because I've got, I think, 2 or 3 on that other one that I got to do. Come on, get on there. All right. Well, it isn't perfect, but again, we've got a loop now. So there we go. That's my own fault on that one. And we'll have to fix these other ones too. But I feel like these may actually be easier since it's flush. We could just file this out. Set them. Looks like there's 3 total. There we go. Get back here. Okay, there. All right, so here's one. There we go. That was much better. So let's try that again. We did much better on that second try. Maybe there's something in that. Come on, get off my finger. There we go. Goodness. That ain't easy. Alright, one more. Whew, okay. Oh, goodness. Ah. Holy moly, these things are fun. Okay. There we go. Alright, and there's our 3. I'm going to let those harden up here. And that may have been way faster than the other way we're trying to do that. Okay, so what else did we need to do? I've got a little bit of milliput. Where did that helmet go? Let's go ahead and cap these holes that are in here. I'll let them set up. There we go. Just cap fill those holes a little bit. I have to put a little bit more product in there than we want, but it'll definitely look a whole lot better if we do. Probably do all this in here, honestly. Get this layer set up because she's going to need a little bit of extra to make her face meet up properly. Now you can buy fancy sculpting tools if you want, but I definitely still enjoy a good skewer. It might be from my work in restaurants. When I used to have to sculpt stuff in restaurants all the time, I was always using skewers as sculpting tools. Okay. Alright, so we got a little more than we probably need, so let's go ahead and take a little bit of this out. There's a fine line. You gotta go back. Unfortunately, I got a bell meeting in 5 minutes. Can't wait to see how this figure turns out. Thanks, man. I can't wait. I can't wait either. It's good to see you. I know you're gone already, but it's nice to say those things. Maybe he's gonna come back and see it later. Plus, you know, there's no reason not to just be polite. Oh, golly. Okay, well, luckily that's a clean break. We'll just super glue that one back on. That's disappointing. That's alright. That's not a hard fix. I wasn't paying attention. I was too busy running my mouth. And let that be a lesson to you all. Pay attention. Take this excess off of her head right here real quick. There we go. Down there. Down there. Kind of slowly get the rest of that material in there. Get in there. Quit it. And you could do this with a needle if you wanted to, I guess. You just need something that you can manipulate the stuff with. We're just trying to make that transition look as smooth as possible. Check all your little details. Make sure you don't have anything too covered up. And back here with the hair, in theory we won't be seeing a lot of this, but we can easily just push this stuff back up underneath her helmet or her head to kind of seal that up. And it might pop loose when it dries, and it might not. We don't know. You never know. If it does, then we'll just glue it. No big deal. Because by the time it dries, it'll have gotten her shape. So if it does pop loose, if the mill put didn't actually set it, because sometimes it does. Sometimes it'll just glue it to it, just the mill put itself. But if it pops loose, we can easily just glue it back down and it'll be fine. But what we wanted to do is make sure we had that gap filled in between all of this so that it will look like her head actually goes up inside her helmet, which is what we want. And we'll have to glue that piece back on there tomorrow. I'm not gonna mess with that today. I'm gonna get my glues out today. So we are over our hour, so that is where we're gonna wrap things up. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much to Corey and Shai for showing up. Always nice to see you, gentlemen, and chit chat with you. And Mr. Gold, our lovely patron, was here early today, and so it's always nice to have the folks that are, you know, that these sculptures are for. It's nice when they're watching. That's fun. I enjoy that a lot. That's why it's why I started doing these lives. Really, was to just be able to, when we were doing projects for different clients, to be able to show them out like this, and that way you can say, oh yeah, no, my stuff's handmade for sure. I can show you where the guy made it. And oh, we were gonna do one little thing, weren't we? Let's do that real quick. So where's one of those legs? We're gonna test this technique. So what it is we're gonna get some of this milliput like really wet. So my finger is wet, and I got a little bit of milliput, and it's on my thumb, and it is very wet. And we're just gonna gently kind of like just listening and working away. Hope you enjoy your evening, Pat. Catch you again soon. Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna do this one little thing, and then we're gonna get out of here. It needs to be wetter. Oh yeah. So anyway, get it real wet, and kind of, there it is. And you kind of just keep moving around, and it'll fill in these holes. And then we can sand it down later, and it was supposed to work better. And we'll find out. We will find out. There's all sorts of tips out there, and you never know which ones are going to work and which ones aren't. I'm not used to the camera being that low, but it looks legit. I mean, those little holes are filled with color. You can see where it went in them. Maybe it will work. It's got to be like super wet though. That's pretty crazy. Alright, well, we'll come back tomorrow. Okay, I'm gonna real quick get this. This is one of my little makeup sponges, so I'm gonna get it wet. I'm just gonna clean out that spot right there where her leg is, just to make sure we don't obscure any of that. So anyway, we'll test that out. We'll see if that works. We'll know tomorrow, and we'll be able to play around with it. So anyway, you guys have a great night, and I'm going to talk to you later. Thanks for coming.